The Nassau grouper represents an important fishery resource, and despite the annual 3-month ban from December to the end of February, should protect it during its spawning period. A recently published research suggests there is a decline in the species. Shedd Aquarium researchers recently published a study in the Bulletin of Marine Science partnership with the University of Exeter and the Bahamas National Trust, documenting the collapse of the Nassau grouper. Research associate and a PhD candidate at the University of Exeter, Krista Sherman, explained why the endangered species should be conserved.
Nassau grouper is an icon to the Bahamas. It's a culturally important species, but it's also a species that generates revenue for fishermen and industries and local family island communities. So on average, it generates over $1 million a year. But that number has been declining, and the status of commercial landings have been declining over the past 20 years, and that's due to overfishing. So there's also an economic incentive to try and help the fishery to recover and to maintain healthy grouper populations, because ideally what we want is a healthy grouper fishery where we can continue to enjoy Nassau grouper, divers can continue to enjoy seeing them on reefs, but we need to, in order to do that, we need to protect the spawning stock.
This research project has been ongoing for the past 2 years, and despite the 3-month ban, Sherman said there is a decline at the sites visited.
The sites that we have visited, we know that a lot of them no longer support the historic numbers that they used to support. For example, Cat Cay off of Bimini was one of the first spawning aggregations that was described in the world, and that was in the Bahamas. And they estimated between 30,000 to 100,000 Nassau grouper at that site back in the 60s, and that paper was published in 1972. That spawning aggregation no longer forms, and that was 30,000 to 100,000 Nassau grouper. So what we see at the sites that we're visiting now is we're down from those tens of thousands of grouper. A lot of the sites that we go to, we're seeing hundreds of fish, and some of the healthier ones that we visited, we're still seeing thousands of fish.